Hello boys and girls, on tonight's action-packed episode we're going to be... James is here, look at him.
The little family's here.
Come here. There he is. Right, bugger off while I do my thing. On tonight's episode we're going to be doing some preparation work for the new Tiki Tunnel Part 2. And we're also going to be putting some Mylar reflective surfaces into our cold frame. Alright. Couple of other bits and pieces. Enjoy yourselves.
Right, boys and girls, we've got two trampolines there, trampoline frames. So we've got our 4 semicircles. There's Magical McDerbyshire there, see? With his wizard's hat on. What we're doing is, we want to get the new hoop tunnel here, facing Tiki Tunnel number 1. So TT1's there, TT2's going to be here. But we're going to reorientate the lady farmer's shed. Instead of it opening that way and being in the way, we're going to turn it so that it sits onto the flags there. We're going to turn it 90 degrees, so the door's here, and that will give us then this pathway. The new tunnel's going to go from here across, and then from here across, because it's pending permission, of course, because it's going to be an 8-foot wide one. That's a 10-foot wide one, so those are 10-foot trampoline frames. The new one is going to be 8 feet, so it's not going to be quite as wide as that, but it's going to be of a similar length. So that's going to go here. So the doors are more or less going to be facing each other, and then the tunnel's going to go down there. Obviously these beds will need rejigging and shifting and what have you, but that's the first job. Me and Mick's going to be turning that now, so that we can have it going facing the path, the door, and we've got a bit of riddle room then to get cracking. Alright, so to move that round, we've just affixed there some 2x1 at the sides of it, and rickshaw fashion, lifted, moved across, lifted, moved across, daddied it, or whatever they call it, around, and it's sat there perfectly onto the flags. Got some surplus ones down the side, but we'll leave them in as a bit of a path. I'll just get rid of those edging ones there, and that's where it's going to fall. So that's going to be the gap between the shed and the poly tunnel. There's the little path there down the sides. Might have it a little bit wider actually there, but yeah, it's going to be facing Tiki Tunnel 1. Just got to get all that stuff back into there now, but apart from that, that's done. At least that's sorted, that's out of the way now. Move that little shed. It looks better like that actually, doesn't it, with the doors facing? It's going to be easier, isn't it? Once I redo this sort of patio bit here at the front, where she's having the flowers and stuff like that, we'll have the flower beds round. We'll sort something out for it, it'll be alright. I might redo that shed actually down the line, because it's a bit knackered now, it's getting a bit old, but it'll be okay for a couple of years. The roof's fine. It should be alright for a couple of years, and at least it'll save me a bit of money. I'll be spending about 150 quid building a new shed, what I don't need to build. So we're just going to take those off now. They're just screwed onto the sides to give you leverage while you're moving it round. So they can come off. They can now come off. I'm just inside the black shed now, the black shed of death, and that's where the rats are getting in, or were getting in, and probably still are getting in. So I'm going to box that off and try and lock them out while I've got the chance, while it's all empty, before I repack it. This 6x1 offcut will be just to the job. It wants to be 11 inches. I've just measured it, the gap with that. So I'm just going to get the jigsaw and just cut that down now, and we'll fit it in. There we go, that should do the trick. Keep the rascally rats out. Just thought I'd put another shelf in there while we were at it, you know. Excuse me. So the rat hole is blocked off, and there's another shelf gone in there. I'm going to sweep it out now. It's making me cough, that. Probably a very unhealthy environment in there at the moment. Got to be careful of wheels disease and all sorts. Okay, now if you can hear a sort of a rumbling sound in the background, it's a generator that Mick's using over there. He's just doing some work. One of the ladies the other day, I forget who it was, but suggested that inside our cold frame box we use some white paint or some reflective material. Now Mick's just given me some of this stuff, and what that is it's a kind of reflective mylar bubble wrap, which is going to be ideal because you've got the bubble wrap for the insulation and you've got the reflective material to bounce the light back into the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the sections and staple them inside that box now, and yeah, that's about it. But it'll give it that extra layer. I mean, it's quite thick wood anyway, so it's going to be pretty pretty insulative. There's no cracks in it, no gaps, but that'll give it that bit extra. So we'll crack on with that while we're waiting about. Just using the old GoPro. I've had to put that on charge. I didn't charge it up last night, the Pixel 4a. Right, anyway, never mind. That's been lined out now with the mylar, the bubble wrap mylar sheeting. And so that's going to be a nice reflective surface. The sun will come through the glass, it'll bounce off the reflective surfaces inside the box there, and then the little plants will get the benefit of all that indirect and direct sunlight inside our little cold frame. Quite like that now, really. Let me just show it you down. Just undo that. So yeah, it sits inside there, sits very snugly now that this stuff's on it. I put about 3 layers of the mylar bubble wrap at the front of that, just to try and fill that gap a little bit that you can see there. But it'll do the job. It's fit for purpose, and that's what you want, isn't it? You want it to be fit for purpose, and it is. We've been messing around with Mick's off-grid power setup this morning. That's the wind turbine. Obviously there's no wind today, but when there is wind, that's a turbine, and it does actually turn. We've seen it going. We've seen it flying along that when there's been a good breeze going. But yeah, he's got solar panel. He's got that. We're just hooking it all up, or rather Mick is really. I was giving him a bit of a lift this morning with it, hooking it all up. You can watch that over on old Mac Darby's channel if you want to take a look at that. We'll just go up to the black shed again. I put the shelves in, and I'm just stocking it back up now, putting all the stuff back in it. Gonna get all that stuff back into the. Look at all them. I'm not going to be short of buckets, I don't think, this next year. Look at all that. Every time I go in Asda, I pick up about 4 or 5 of these, the cut flower buckets, and they come in dead useful. But yeah, I'll get all that back in there now. It's always good, you know, when you get the chance to reorganise your shed. Looks like there's a lot more space in it now, actually. What you've got to think about, really, when you're organising a shed is what you're going to be needing next. So what we're going to be needing next is this stuff. We're going to need the fence paint, because I'm going to be painting everything up in that sort of a red cedar colour. And also that stone, that masonry paint there, that Santex masonry paint, we're going to be using that for the posts and for the bases at the front. Now there's only about 1/3 of a can of it there, but I'm going to get some more of that from B&Q or whatever. But yeah, everything's reorganising there. It's all sorted. It's all nice. We're on the GoPro again now because my phone's not charged up. So I hope that's not too bad for you, the GoPro. But as you can see now, what we've done, because we've reorientated that so that it's actually facing, it makes more sense, because I'm going to carry on and get the flags in here. That's got to come out though. I don't know how I'm going to get that out, that apple tree stump. That's going to be in the way, that. So yeah, thinking caps on for that one this weekend. I will have to dig it out in some description. Wonder if we can get the chainsaw, clear everything away, dig it down around it, then they get the chainsaw in. because that's definitely going to have to come out. It's definitely in the way. That's something that does need to be sorted out. But down the side of the black shed of death, there's already the startings of a flag there, of a pathway. What I'm thinking of doing is doing all of this with the pave around here, and then getting planting boxes around the shed, but have that path going up there. I need to have a path going up there because it makes sense to me to have that path leading to the shed. And yeah, so that's in the offing. Like I said before, we've got the trampoline frames. We've got 2 trampoline frames, which gives you 4 semicircle hoops. Now these are 8 feet hoops. That's going to be, the permission's gone in. Spoke to Pat as well this morning, so the permission's gone in, but there's no massive rush because I've not got the sheeting for it yet. I've not got the horticultural grade polythene for it yet, but we can hopefully make a start on it and make a start on getting the base in, and the sort of ground staves, the metal poles that go into the ground, and mark out where your hoops are going to go. Get those in, and then all we need to do then is get the frame up and get the sheeting on. So if I can get that done this weekend and have a mess about up here, those leaks are ready for coming out anyway, so I can get those leaks out. That veg is blown now, that's past its best, so that can come out. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll just have to rearrange the beds. Probably going to do this tomorrow actually. I'll probably get it all done tomorrow. All of these beds are going to be sorted out and probably moved and stored somewhere, so that I can clear all this off then, and I've got a blank canvas then, you know, to start me polytunnel, Tiki Tunnel 2.0, which is going to be that one. It's going to be facing this existing Tiki Tunnel, so that we'll have a door-to-door face up on it. So there'll be probably a good couple of feet, 2.5 feet. Probably start it off about here. I don't want too narrow of a gap, if you like, on this pathway, so I'll probably start it off about there and then work back that way with it. But as I say, it's be a bit smaller than that one. It won't be quite as big as that one, and it'll be a slightly different design that I'm going to do for it, just to try and keep it under £150. £150 sterling to actually create it, because they're free, the hoops are free. You just have to hunt for them. People are getting rid of those at the moment, especially when it gets into the new year and it's really cold and it starts to get really windy. People will start to be getting rid of those, boys and girls. Facebook Marketplace, Free Cycle, places like that, that's what you want. Keep checking them. Put a shout out for them, ask people for them if anybody's giving them away. I mean, if you have to pay a tenner a piece, it's only 20 quid. You've got your hoops, and you get all the straight pieces as well that go with them. We'll go through this step by step on the next one, and I can show you exactly what we're going to be doing to create something like that. All right. Oh, it's on. I didn't think it was on. That's a good 18-inch gap, that, between that bed and Joe's fence. So between the Guru's Garden and Rivendell, there's an 18-inch walkway going to be situated there. That's going to be the back of the polytunnel. I've just measured that out, and it's 14 feet. So the polytunnel is going to be 14 feet long to there. That's going to be where it's going to sit. So the hill end of the allotment, that's going to be the side facing the hill end. We've got this already existing pathway that goes down there, so that's there, and then we want to measure then 8 feet that way. So I'm going to measure 8 feet that way and see where that lands. All right. You know, that's going to land perfectly. I couldn't have even planned that. That's right in the centre of that, those pavers there, which are right in the centre of the doorway to Tiki Tunnel 1. So that's going to be the centre point of the new tunnel of TT2. There's the 8-foot point. Oh, was the 8-foot point on that side, going up there, and then I've marked out the 8-foot width, which is there. So there's going to be a good, probably 3 feet. It's going to be a metre there between the black shed and where the lane facing side of T2 is going to land. So that's going to have to run through then to here, like that. That doesn't look right, that, does it? Oh, because that's further up there. Right. Well, I might have to adjust it and jig it a bit then. I'll adjust it and jig it so that our centre point is there, going that way. That'll move it. That's going to move it right to probably about here then. So that's where the flag's going to be. That's where the lane facing side of T2 is going to be, TT2. So yeah, that's going to be probably about midpoint, I would say, where those edging flags are there, that line on the side. That still gives us plenty of room. That still gives us plenty of room. Where that line is there, it'll be. And what I'll do is I'll run off from here. I'll measure out sort of like 8 inches away from there. So it's basically it's there. I'm just thinking it through in my head. Sorry about this, guys. It's going to start there and run up that way in a straight line. We have a straight line. Yeah, it's going to be about 10 inches further down that way than where the edge of that bed is currently. Yeah, coming off from the pave. So probably corner of that pave there, all the way up there, across 8, and back another 14, and it'll land us there. Probably going to land us about there. Yeah, that'll be right, won't it? Land us there. Fantastic. That's good. That is good. Oh, it's going to be ace, this. That's going to be wider than this gap. That's only 18 inches, and that's going to be 24 inches over there. I've just measured it. So the gap between the shed, let's get over there again. The gap between the shed and the polytunnel is going to be wider than the gap between T1 and the greenhouse there. It's going to be wider than that, and I can get up and down that relatively easily. So it'll be better. It'll be better than that. Right, that's good news, isn't it? We like that, boys and girls. Just lock up the shed now. That is good news, that. What isn't good news is I can't lock the bloody shed now. Must have twisted when we moved it. To sort something out for that. There's another bloody 5 minutes, 10 minutes I need to spend down here. Anyway, happy days. Catch you later on. Have a good weekend. It's Friday night tonight. Don't get too drunk because you're up for the plots in the morning. Alright. Guna Bafinda signing out. I will see you through the week, and I'll see you on the weekend. I'll see you tomorrow as well. We can get cracking on. I think we'll try and get the patio area done outside this black shed first of all. Get that tree stump out, all that kind of thing, and then get these beds shifted. So that's the weekend sorted out, innit? I'm happy as a clam. Right, catch you later. Have a good one, boys and girls. Bye bye. Mwah. Well, looks like leek soup for tea. Okay. If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window. Plenty going on this weekend. I love these 3-day weekends. They're brilliant. And I hope you do too. Alright, stick with it. You'll enjoy it. Catch you later and crack on. Bye bye.